afternoon. My name is Jochen Hager. I'm a partner with solutionXchg. solutionXchg as a company is focused on highly effective solutions for SAP archiving, imaging, and archiving. Both Kristen and I have been in this business for many years, over 15 years, and worked with many customers in Europe and in the United States in the last 15 years. Today, I'm talking about, in our knowledge injection series, about certified content repositories for SAP. And I want to set the stage a little bit and talk about some business drivers that concern many of us in IT. If we look at companies' budgets, we often see that over 80% of an average company's IT budget is spent on keeping the lights on. That means just making sure that existing applications like your SAP system, like an archiving solution, or many other solutions are just running day on, day out. And the money is mostly spent on maintenance of these solutions, maintenance and support fees, as well as administrative work around these solutions. But the budgets are not increasing year over year. Actually, budgets are always tight, no matter what the economy is like. And the only way to free up funds for new technology and invest into new technology the only way to free up funds is by making sure you reduce the spending on already established or existing applications you have. So I want to show you around SAP archiving how this can be done by replacing established technology with simpler and maybe more standardized solutions. So taking a look at what needs to be done, software maintenance cost needs to be reduced, the system IT footprint needs to be reduced. That goes into the direction of virtualization, for example. Many companies have embarked on that path quite successfully. We want to reduce administrative efforts, and we want to replace maybe an ailing legacy archiving system that creates more work than it actually benefits the organization. Now, how do you do that? Let's take a look at the current scenario. Let's take a look at the classical architectural setup of an archiving solution for SAP. On the one hand side, you have the SAP system with the SAP ArchiveLink interface, an HTTP-based interface that communicates to the underlying archiving system. The archiving or storage system consists of a communication module, the AL module in my picture here, that then communicates to a storage module and typically to a database. And that database then is an Oracle, a MySQL database, an MSQL database, or a DB2 database. And the storage is either an old-fashioned jukebox. Believe it or not, there are still cases out there we're dealing with where you have jukeboxes in place. A NetApp solution, an EMC solution, or other solutions out there. This is the classical architecture. It's a classical archive system, client-server architecture, actually quite heavy in terms of resource requirements and administration. So how can you change that? There is more modern architectures around. We'll use the KGS content server for storage as an example, but there's also the type of architecture really is available in multiple solutions. Same SAP front-end, SAP ArchiveLink HTTP interface continues to talk to an ArchiveLink module that speaks the HTTP ArchiveLink language, but then you can see immediately that the module is much lighter. We use Java in a modern architecture. There is no database anymore. Database is replaced by an intelligent file system storage component, basically just by a driver for a subsystem that then uses underlying storage. And the storage can be the same. The storage you have can be reused for that. So again, if you compare these two setups, clearly, modern architecture, much lighter, much less administration, much less risk because you have less moving components, fully virtualizable, and significantly less licensing fees for databases, and hardware components. So if we look at what the KGS content server in this scenario has to offer, it's one of the best available solutions out there. It was specifically developed to satisfy SAP archiving requirements. In fact, the company is a leading service provider for SAP. They do certify and have certified many other ArchiveLink compliant archiving solutions and provided some interface intelligence for other companies. It's fully certified. The solution is SAP ArchiveLink load tested. It's certified for BCILM 3.0, the latest release of SAP's Information Lifecycle Management component. It's a really unique approach that is able to deal with the highest performance requirements. It's highly scalable. You can run it in multiple threads, multiple instances. It's a best fit for SAP solution because it was developed 100% in compliance with SAP standard and with just one dedicated application in mind, and that is SAP. Just a quick look on the certificates. KGS is keeping up with certificates every year, and those certificates guarantee that the solution really is conformant with all the SAP interfaces. Very large implementations have been done with such a light architecture. Armstrong, for example, moved everything from a hardware-heavy HP platform, HP UX platform, multiple servers, to a VMware Linux installation. They kept the same storage, but migrated over 28 million documents, 8 terabytes of data in just less than 2 months. So quite a doable undertaking. And as you can see, the result here was much less hardware, capability to reduce the database, keeping the same storage components, so no new hardware infrastructure costs, but in fact a high reduction on cost because at the same time the maintenance cost from was cut in half over the existing legacy application. So this is a premier example of how you can do more with less. You innovate within your organization, at the same time you save costs, you free up money and funds to do other things. Similar story for Procter & Gamble, global archive replacement for 25 production instances, migration of about 28 terabytes of data into a KGS solution. Also very lightweight architecture, same situation here, while this runs on actual servers, but on a much reduced server farm. Justin Brands, related story, an archive replacement of an ailing legacy system. All data archiving files were migrated, custom interfaces were built to link to various Adobe forms. So that really here is, in 10 minutes, in a nutshell, the argument I wanted to make. I wanted to say that it's worthwhile looking at new technology. It can greatly benefit your organization. You can figure out how that concept works for you. Less hardware, less moving parts, and reduced software maintenance fees. So how can SolutionXchg help with that? We work with you on the business process analysis. We do all the necessary SAP module customizing, the project management, the enterprise content management configuration, and many more. We work with selected companies that offer premier solutions in the SAP market. Today we talked about KGS. Next week we'll talk about Eternity, an underlying compliance layer that replaces jukeboxes. But we also have business solutions from XFT in the portfolio, HR, document management, accounts payable, contracts management solution, as well as data archiving packages by PBS and TJC. And this concludes our webinar today. If you are interested in contacting us, you can contact me or my business partner, Kristen Gerling. Here is our contact information. And with that, I hand it back to you, Kristen. Kristen?
Okay, thank you very much, Jochen. We hope you enjoyed the presentation. Do we have any questions? Please post your questions in the question panel on